All right, guys, I'm Ahmad.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the test statistics on Moodle.
So first I'll show you how to get to those statistics. So you would be on your Moodle page, you'd click on a particular quiz that you're interested in. Then on the right-hand side, you'd click on results and then statistics.
So here we get a whole bunch of information, and we're gonna be selective. So we're gonna look at some of them which are more meaningful to us. So we have this quiz with 75 participants.
So first of all, standard deviation, which measures the spread of the scores around the mean. So Moodle suggests that you aim for values between 12% and 18%. If the value is too small, then it means a lot of the grades are bunched up together, which is not great.
Another score which is useful is the skewness. So a positive value would be a right tail, and a negative value would be a left tail. The suggested value is to have around -1. If it is too negative, as in this case, what it means is that our test didn't do a good job at discriminating among the high achievers.
The error ratio tells us what extent the differences in grades is due to chance. So we'd want that to be as small as possible.
Well, we have a whole bunch of statistics. Some of them are more advanced than others. Some of them are simple, like the number of attempts. So here we had 75 students. One thing is that as you go through this, when you see something that is red, it means it could be potentially problematic. What is red is where the discriminative efficiency is under 15%. So we're going to look at one of these examples for you.
So for example, the sampling types question is in red. So let's take a look. And this is basically a randomized question. So a student gets one version of the different types within this question. So we want to make sure that each student is getting a similar question.
So here we have 4 types. These are 4 different types of non-random sampling. And you can see that the purposive type was a little bit different from others. We have to check that they are comparable in terms of difficulty, clarity, and accuracy. So one thing that's useful here is that we have to question our pedagogy. So when we were teaching sampling types, maybe we didn't cover purposive adequately. Maybe the activities or practices that we gave were not didn't prepare the students properly. So this can be useful in terms of reviewing our own pedagogy.
So if we look at the facility index, that basically tells us what percentage of students got the question right. And you can see there is a bit of a difference between the 4 different types here.
One other thing is comparing the intended weight. The intended weight is effectively how much weight this question has toward the final grade, and the effective weight. So the effective weight is that effectively how much students gained from this question toward their overall grade. Now this is useful if you compare these. Whenever the effective weight is very much higher or very much lower than the intended weight, you might want to readjust the weight you give to that question in a test. So in this case, this means is that this question proved to be a lot more significant for most students than what it was intended to be.
Then we have the discrimination index and discriminative efficiency, which are pretty much measuring the same thing. We're going to focus on the discriminative efficiency, which indicates how effective a question is at sorting out able students from less able students. And this is in relation to the entire quiz.
Yeah. Again, you want to have a higher value, so the ones that have a lower value could be problematic. By the way, a major emphasis in Moodle statistics is discrimination. How much the questions and the quiz discriminate among students, but keep in mind that maybe that is what we want.
So yeah, exactly. Like a good test means that the difficulty is spread out within the test. It doesn't mean that every single question within the test discriminates equally. So we may want to have some easier questions, some more difficult questions, and so on. But the way Moodle does it and with these statistics, it's kind of assuming that you'd like all questions to be like the average question.
All right, so I hope that helps. There is a lot more, and we're going to share with you some documents which you can look at on your own leisure.